Good evening. Okay, I do have text messaging for notifications for when I go live, but what I haven't been able to tell everybody is that I don't want to send notifications out past 8 o'clock at night, because I know a lot of the people that watch me are on the East Coast, and I think that might get people mad. So that's why I didn't send out notification. Um, I do believe, though, if you follow my page, you'll get a messenger notification saying that I'm live. But anyway, if you'd like to have text notifications for every time I go live, except for past 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, um, just type the word creepy to 74121. And again, I will not be sending out notifications when I go live past 8 p.m. West Coast time in California. And it's actually kind of rare. I normally don't, but I have a lot of orders that I'm working on, and in between orders, I'm doing other stuff. So I thought I'd get started on this. And let me just briefly tell you what I want to do. I want to draw her tonight. So actually, if somebody wants to kind of follow along, get yourself a head and prep it. Any kind of base coat color will do. This head I did in honey beige, or I'm sorry, honey brown. Um, and get her all prepped and ready. If you don't know how to prep, I suggest if you check out my shop, I have a class replay, and it's everything you need to know and all the items I use, the products, the tips, and everything. But it's a class replay, and it's at creepyholidaystuff.com. And have your head ready, and then you can come back and watch this video and draw it out if you want to make what I'm making. Um, when I made Mary the other night, when I was getting her material, I saw this material, and I just loved it. It's really pretty. I honestly can't tell if it's blue or purple. I think it's purple, but some people might see it as blue. I don't know, but it has stars on it. So the first thing I thought of was fortune teller, because I've had this for about a year. I never used it. It's actually missing one little thing there, but I'm going to take one off over here. But I thought, wow, she would look awesome. Hi, Cheryl. Sorry, I just saw your message. I thought she would look awesome with this on her head. Of course, I'll have to, you know, glue it in areas and pin it to make sure it stays. And then this just kind of draped over. You know, something groovy like that. I don't know. I pictured it, and I'm like, I gotta make that. Um, I'm just gonna check my today on my live today. Facebook really screwed up. I went almost 40 minutes with no comment because it was a long live. I did the Candyland lady today, and I'm like, this is weird. I haven't seen any comments for almost 40 minutes, and I went on my phone and there was tons of comments. So Facebook really screwed up, and so I'm gonna go on my phone just to make sure, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm ignoring them. It's just there's a lot of glitches in this darn Facebook. Okay. Okay, Cheryl is the only comment I see. And a heart. Thank you. All right. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do. So this will be a really quick, not too long. And then I might even go ahead and outline her. But she's going to be a fortune teller. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do her eyebrows. I don't want to have, I'm thinking fortune teller. Yeah, it's right when I saw this material, I'm like, I got to do a fortune teller because I knew I had this from last year. So I thought it would be something fun. I'm going to look totally awesome. I hope so, Melissa. I hope so. It's one of those things where I picture it in my mind, so I'm hoping it does turn out. Hey, Denise. For anybody just popping in, and for anybody that does subscribe to my text messaging for when I go live, I didn't send them out because I don't want to send out notifications past 8 p.m. California time. because I know I have a lot of East Coast people and I don't want to get anybody upset and mad that their text messaging is going off. What?
I knocked your thing. Is Candy on here?
No, Denise is on here.
Hi, Denise.
You know Denise. I
Tell
don't.
Candy I won.
So anyway, that's um there is a way I can go around that is if certain people want to be notified and if it's super late, I just need phone numbers because in the program I'm using to send out the notifications, I can make groups. So I could send out just to a particular group, you know? So
No, but they don't want to be disturbed.
anyway, yeah, I didn't want to get anybody mad, especially on a work day. Okay, so we'll do this like a tutorial. We'll do this like a tutorial. Um, and I think that I'm gonna actually do the painting and everything uh, another nighttime, like tomorrow or the next day. Will be around 8 or 8:30 if I do it because I have orders I'm working on. But we'll finish her on a nighttime. Denise said hi, Ron. Okay, so here's your head. She's all prepped. She's painted whatever color you want. Um, there's an area that you can tell is supposed to be her brow. Oh, my thing's auto-focusing. And Denise, I'm always awake. I think though, I was saying, I think people who follow my page, I think that the Facebook notifies that I'm live, I believe, because I get one myself. It'll say, oh, Creepy Holiday Stuff's live. Okay, so here's the brow bone area. Normally I would do like an arched area, but I'm going to kind of do more of a straight one. You're up late too, Adina. Not straight, but not really arched. So I'm going to start right below the brow. Just go up a little bit. And I'll do a little dark. Wow, you can't see shit. What the heck? Let me go closer. Yeah, see, Facebook notifies anyway, so I'm not too worried. But for anything before 8 p.m., I will absolutely use the notification system. I have to. I pay for it, so I got to use it. Okay, tell me if it gets too blurry, because if it does, I'll have to zoom back out. So I'm starting out, rather thin. I'll thicken it up when I start to paint it. But that's it. I don't want to do a high arch, just something low. Just the look I'm going for. And then what I do to try to help get it even, I will curve my arm over like this. Because if you go like this to do this side, well, you can't even see what how can you compare to get it as close as possible? You can't. Now, I can if I watch my computer screen right now because the camera's facing it. I can do it that way. But the best way is flip your arm around and just go ahead and look and try to get it even this way. It might feel awkward at first, but I tell you, it works. Because eyebrows, believe it or not, can be a little bit hard sometimes to get even. And even after they're drawn on and you're like, oh, hey, those look cool. They work out. That's good. You paint it and then you go, what the heck? That's not even at all. Jesus. Okay, so don't get frustrated. Now I have to do it this way because my arm won't want to twist the right way. Thank you so much for your lives and videos you have gave some. Aw, thank you. Let me see if I pronounce this. It's Timisia? Am I pronouncing it right? That is such a groovy spelt name, so I want to make sure I say it right. Timisia. Timisia. Yeah, let me know if I'm saying that right. And you're welcome. Oh. And make sure you use. No, but it's okay. Oh gosh, I want to say it right. Is there a way that you know how on some Facebook pages people have their name and then they like sound it out but in spelling? Is there a way you can do that? Um, Only use general sketch and wash pencils. You don't have to only use it. I'm just telling you that's what I do because look at I just wipe it right off. Tamisha. Oh my god, that is beautiful. Tamisha. I was saying Tamisha, huh? Tamisha. That's a beautiful name. I like it. It's cool. I've never seen it spelt like that. Okay, let's get back to this eyebrow that okay, so I mean it's not perfect, and like I said, when I start painting then you know I could adjust them better, so just do this and we'll fix it. You're welcome. It will be fixed when we start painting. So not high, it's just like running right below that pointy part of the eyebrow there. Okay, so I want to do kind of dreamy, mystical, bedroomy looking eyes. So I painted the zombie head tonight on my live. I enjoyed watching your live last night. Oh my gosh, I would love to see, Nina, do you have a link to your page that you can share here so that I could check it out and anybody else can check out you painting the zombie head? I would love to. That'll give me something to watch when I'm done. I can lay down and watch your live, your replay. Do you do gypsies? I did a gypsy. This one actually will look a little similar. I did a gypsy for a gal like a year or two ago. And I just did the face actually. And she did a beautiful deep blue scarf and just the earrings. It looked so pretty. Sexy. Oh my god. I gotta start spelling sexy out. Sexy. I like that spelling. When I'm texting my daughters and daughter-in-law, I gotta use that. They usually say smexy, but now I'm gonna say shexy. And if that was a typo, it was a good one, Denise, because I love it. Oh. Alright, so we're gonna do small. This is supposed to be like a little tutorial. I'm sorry, I just did it without saying it. So you have your indents, you make your line right there. Now this is like an eyelid, so it goes all the way up there, you know, kind of bubbles like an eyelid if it's closed. So instead of going all the way up here for these huge old eyes, I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way because maybe the middle is right here of this whole lid. So I'm going to go up a little further past that. Okay. Now I'm going to have the top of the eyeball underneath this lid, and the bottom of the eyeball will be touching the bottom lid. So look at your head straight on and make sure that, well, it depends on where you want your eye to look, but if you're following along what I'm doing, do it this way. Have the eyeball look at you. Now, for once it wasn't a typo. I think my new phone is getting to know me now. That's awesome, Denise. That's funny. So I'm going to go right in the center. I feel like it keeps getting fuzzy. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Every time I take a glance at the computer, it's trying to autofocus. Well, shit, maybe not. Laugh aloud. That's funny. All right, so I'm going to have the bottom, and just like do a circle. If you have trouble, do your whole circle. You could always wipe, if you're using the right pencil like I tell you to use, you could wipe it right off. Okay? So, and I don't want this curved a whole bunch. It will go down more, but I'll worry about that more when I'm painting it. So you see? And then right here, the tear duct area, you want to do a little, it's really hard to see though, so let me show you. Oh great, there went my water. So when you're doing, you know, here's the eyeball. Okay. So when you get to the tear duct area, try, if your pencil's not sharp enough, it might be a little hard, but try to do a little curve, just a little one. It like that. It doesn't have to be, you know, intense or anything. Kind of looks like, you know, I don't know. Well, actually, it looks like a few things, but anyway, forget that. Uh, it'll give it a better look. And then you can even go a little flat here. Anyway, that's to prepare us to do our tear duct. Okay. My life was ahead of my voice. Oh, was it really? Is it a, do you have a business page, or is you did it on your private page, Nina? Okay, so you can't really see mine because it's really hard. A little nip. Okay, yeah. It looks like a nipple, and it also looked like something else. You know, it is after dark hours, so we can say that. But just if you get rid of that, it reminded me of something else. If you get rid of that, it reminded me of something else. Okay. After dark naughties. I better not say anymore. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Go up 3/4 of the way. Don't worry if it doesn't look right at first. You can fix it. Even when you're painting it, you can fix it. And we'll do just that little curve there. Try to. Sometimes it looks stupid, but when it comes time to painting, you could fix it. And then just kind of look and see if it's close to the other side. It's kind of close. Alright, then we're going to look the head straight on so that you have both eyes looking at you.
Is there a dog in here?
No, I don't think so. Okay. And it's a good, I did it on my private page, but I will share it on my craft page. Angelia's, oh, let me write that down. I just love to watch other people do styrofoam head art, painting or whatever. Because, you know, it's my passion. I love it. So, Angelia's Crafts. And you painted the zombie. I did one the other day. Well, actually like a week or so. I like doing those. But it's still sitting in my store, so I don't, in my shop, so I don't know how. They usually go really good when I have my auctions, but when they're in the shop, they kind of sit there. Thank you. Fabric is really pretty. I got it at Joann's. It's really pretty. Where are we? CC or CHS? What does that even mean, Denise? CC or CHS? I don't even know what that means.
Creepy corner.
Oh! Man, I'm not thinking straight. My daughter even knows. She goes, creepy corner, creepy holiday stuff. We're in creepy holiday stuff.
Dang, bro, you know lingo.
How funny. Well, you know, I was thinking about doing a logo with this, with the just the initials, because this creepy holiday stuff is so long.
You know, there's this shop over where me and Chanel went. You can get your own logo and have them print it on like clothes.
I know I wanted to do merch, but I gotta have a good logo. The logo I have is from almost 3 years ago, and it has, you know, it says creepy holiday stuff with a wreath. I don't do wreath. Oh, Denise said thanks, Tatum.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, because you knew what she was saying.
I got you.
Christine says she's a night owl. That's good. Because I haven't really done nighttime ones, but if there's people out there that want to watch this at night, I'm down.
Sometimes it's easier.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just, for reference, I'm just going to put a pupil right there in the center. Ding, 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 ding. All right, so Let's see. What else can I do? Oh, look at Tatum. I didn't show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put
This
this.
jacket is
Hold on, let me show you, Tatum.
well, she's really
I have to adjust it better, but and then I
You've
got
had
this.
that thing for a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been over a year. Oh, she's gonna be just awesome. She's gonna be a fortune teller. Then I'm gonna do the designs with probably rhinestones here coming down. So
So go up and around the eyebrow too.
designs, yeah,
Yeah, to fill in like
Yeah.
the nose piece area.
yeah. Oh, this?
Yeah, have it loop up and go around.
What are you even talking about? What do you mean?
Lily's in here.
Lily's in here. Don't open the door if you have a
I
dog.
locked it.
Okay. What are you talking about?
Have it loop up and go around up in the widow's peak area. The little gems.
Oh yeah. And then I want to get. Go ahead and open the door. 'Cause he probably has to come in. I want to get a nose. I like a nose ring that goes from here. That a chain goes up to here. Hey Gary, you're up late. Where do you find the decor material? Oh, I get it from various places. Amazon is always a great place, but I also get my material I get from Joann's. Always Joann's, never anywhere else.
Murmur.
My wigs can be from Party City. They can be from Spirit Halloween. They could be from Amazon. All that stuff. That's where I get it.
You have a friend.
I'm trying to find.
Say hi to him.
Can't find my other. Oh well, I was gonna show you my Halloween slippers. Dang it. Ron, can you bring me a bottle of water, please? All right. I'm talking so much. A lot of people are probably getting angry. Gary, I just told Ron to get me a bottle of water so I could drink some.
Let the guy always does his drink.
Yeah, he's good. He reminds. And sometimes I'll forget, and then he'll say, "Hey, drink." All right, so let's do the mouth. So here's the nose. I always look at the very tip center of the nose and go straight down. Thank you.
Murmur,
And
right.
do a line.
You don't want to leave. He's laying down.
So that's going to be your reference to know that that's the center of the mouth. Carrie's a night owl too. Excuse me. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put a dot here for this corner and this corner. Now, one thing you want to pay attention to is these heads have a very, very, very slight slant to it. Just enough to where if you follow the mouth design, when you set her down, even though she has a slight slant to her, sometimes her mouth, it'll just look like you drew the mouth, painted it all crooked, and it looks weird. So, I just ever so slightly turn it just a tad bit to try to balance it out more, and it works fine because I've painted them before just along with the shape and the way the head is going, and then you look at it and go, oh my god, the lips it just looks so crooked. So that's just a tip. You don't have to do it, but that's how I do it. So I try to balance it and get it a little more straight. All right, so we're just gonna go around the actual outline of the lips. Not all the way, otherwise you'd be way up here, but you know what I mean. And I don't want too much of a pucker, so I'm gonna bring it out because I don't want her smiling or anything. I just want a straight face. Because she's a fortune teller. Okay. I'll do a little curve here. Not sure what kind of lips I'll be painting, but I'd like to put this here just for reference. And then I'm going to do a little curve to meet the lip to give it a fullness. Just like that. If you use light colored paint for lips, don't go too heavy on your pencil because it shows. Okay. I like the bottom lip to be a little bit shorter than the top lip, so I start, instead of right at the corner, I start right more inward. And just doing very, very simple, not much to the lip. And I like to put a little indent or curve on the very bottom. Gives a more natural look. Just a simple set. And you could even go a little wider if you want. I just don't think a small puckered would look very good for a fortune teller look. We want her to have just a very straight face. Okay. So, I was thinking about, because I'm going to do some, which I can't do till tomorrow, like glitter and rhinestones and stuff. But I also want to do some of the, like the star, you know, like to match the material. So like, let's say we'll do, it's a 5-pointed star. So we got to go 1, I'm not great at stars. Wait, that's going to give me 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's going to give me 5. Right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are easier to do if you're doing small ones. When you're painting it, you can kind of fix it a little bit. And then we'll do a moon, quarter moon. Don't want to get it too high. My rhinestones probably can only come to about right here now because I did this, but I just wanted to add some of this. You don't have to add this if you don't want to. Oh, Maria, 300 stars. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Awesome. And thank you for popping in tonight. Everybody, let me know where you guys are from. Is it super late where you are? So she's got a moon and a star there. Actually, it's a little crooked. I would have rather have the moon more on it. You see how it's a little crooked? But yeah, I don't like that. I gotta fix it. Yeah, thank you, Maria. All the stars I get, those get put towards all my supplies for the heads, and it really helps. Thank you. Tracy from Utah, 10 o'clock. Okay, so it's not, okay, you're an hour different from me. We're 9 o'clock right now here on the West Coast. 10 o'clock's not bad. I know the East Coast is looking at midnight. All right, so let's try this again. Let's do up. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like I should have made this smaller. And what's nice is I'm using pencils, so I could also just wipe it right off and change it. But you know what? I'm thinking, okay, give me your thoughts. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking to wipe this off and put just a couple little stars right here, her nose, and right here, and just a few of the little moons. Almost like little freckles, but they'll be moon and stars. That's what I want to do. What is your thoughts? I would love to know. Houston, Texas. Awesome. I just got back yesterday from the Crafters Convention. Was that a lot of fun? Houston, Texas. So are you Houston, Texas? 2 hours, right? From West Coast. So you're 11. I think that's right. Thank you, Maria. Shreveport. Where is that? What state is that in? Georgia. I like the little stars idea. Good, Tracy. Good. That's because I think I'm going to try that. I think it'll look cuter. Be easier to draw too. So I'll just do like just little tiny ones. And then maybe a moon. It was amazing. Awesome. 11:30 p.m. in Louisiana. Louisiana. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Shreveport, Louisiana. That's good, Maria. You had a good time at a crafters convention. I would have been scared, honestly. I would have been scared because of COVID. Oh. I haven't gotten it. God, I don't know. Maybe I have. Who knows, right? They say that you could have it, not know. So who knows? I like to watch it on a video. I'll have to check it out on the computer if they have it to where you can watch on the computer. Let's see. Let's do a little star here. Maybe another moon right here. The best is I won a free ticket to next year's. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Oh, Denise, that might not look good, Heather. Never mind. You don't think it looks good? No? Do you think that it's too, do you think it might take away from her look? Be very honest. Hey, I'm open. Just let me know. That is awesome, Maria, though, that you won a free ticket. It's kind of expensive, isn't it? Denise, come back. What do you mean? Do you think I should take them off? There might be a delay in the... No, what I said above about her crystal ball. Oh, I didn't even see it. Okay, I missed that. Hold on, let me look. I didn't see anything about a crystal ball. Where? Wow, I didn't get it. See, it's Facebook again. Last thing I see you saying is hi to Gary. What the heck? Maybe my phone has, I don't know why Facebook keeps screwing up. Yeah, it didn't show up. But, earlier, my live, I missed a huge part of my comments in my live. Ron came on, and him and Candy were saying words back and forth. It was almost 40 minutes of me missing out on all the comments until I finally go, wow, a lot of time has really passed. So I went to my cell phone and looked, and wow, there was all the comments that I had missed. My phone will only let me go up to where Georgie said yes. Won't even let me go any further. I said to draw a crystal ball, but then may not look good, so never mind. Oh, okay. You know, I actually thought about crystal ball too. Um, I was looking through some drawings for ideas. Well, not drawings, but face art and stuff. And I saw one where a lady did her chest, like this would be her neck, but she had the crystal ball there on her chest, and I'm like, ooh, that might look cool. But then I started thinking, I don't know how good I could do that on the neck, and I'm not sure if it would really go. But I did think of a crystal ball. That'd probably be pretty groovy. So where's my... Sorry, I know I talked a lot during all of this. This normally would have took me like just a couple minutes to do, but I chatted too much. I'm going to go ahead and do the outlining. Outlining. I can find my liner brush. I'll use this one. Okay, so I'm just going to go right over. Not worried about, you know, putting too much or making a crooked line, because all that could be fixed. Trying to get that curve there. It's more of a point, but that's okay. Man, if I could get her eyes done, it'd make tomorrow so much easier. You know. Okay, I messed up there, but that's okay. I'll fix it later. Okay. Wow, I got a little too much paint on there. Just going right over. And the pupils, don't worry about. If you just, we'll fix those later, but I like to put them on there for reference just as I'm doing this. See, I'm going to bring this way down more. It's easier once you start painting and you can start adjusting, you know. Like this, the size of her eyeball needs to go a little bigger here. And it'll look off balance until I get the color in her eye. I'm going to go ahead and do her eyebrow. Water. Let's try to do this one. Look to make sure I get my arch right. Oh, I went too thick. That's okay. That's okay. I hate this. It's like in real life, you know, one eyebrow just goes on so perfect and the other one just looks so stupid. Happens to me in real life all the time. So, not curved enough. And this one has a longer. I would have to use my honey brown to fix this, which it's not in here, but I'll have to fix it tomorrow. So I'll touch up with my honey brown. I'll go around this top part and then smooth this out more. I'll have to do that tomorrow. Donna told me eyebrows are cousins. Yes, you're absolutely right. Totally. They're never the same. Never. Okay. I am let me get some white in the eyes. I was just gonna draw it and then outline. Oh, but you know what? I want to try to do these like the material. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's better if I get this paint on first. So I'm gonna paint the moon and the stars, and then tomorrow I'll use a very thin liner, and I'm going to go around it, and then I'll use some gold glitter, just like the material. That might look groovy. So I'm going to go ahead and just paint the inside of the little freckles here, I guess we could call them. These won't be totally perfect either, but I'm definitely going to have to use my extra fine gold glitter for this. Yikes, not easy. Oh, messed up. Oh my goodness, I just messed that up. Okay. Let's just take off that whole star. If I can. It's getting so into it right now. Terrible. Okay. Let that dry. I have to remember, star goes there. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to get that glitter around those because I think it's going to be kind of hard. I'll try though. I think it would look cool if I could do it. And always move your head around wherever it's comfortable to paint. Move mine all around. That looks actually pretty cool without being painted in. I like that. But it won't match everything else, so I gotta paint it in. Okay, then this one that I screwed up. Yikes, got a little too much paint. One thing too is if you mess up on the stars, you can always go back and fix them with your base paint. Alright, so I'm thinking about using like a deep maroon colored for her lips, but I'm not sure. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and outline. Do I want to? I'm trying to think. Do I want to do a gradient on her lips? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and outline them, and then I'll decide tomorrow what I will do with them. See where we come in to do that little curve right there. Gives it a nicer look. My husband might be coming in to kick me out of the room. I didn't go far enough, I think. There we go. Make sure you use that center point so you can keep it even. Okay, then don't forget we have this little, see where the lips separate. It is just for now, for reference, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do some blending or all one color or what. Might do gradient. I think that might look pretty groovy. So, we'll see. This is just for reference. So, not a lot to it. It was mostly a lot of my talking. You could do this really quick. So tomorrow, and just to get another look, even though she's not painted, I just like to keep picturing it. I think she's gonna look super cool. And this too, you know, it could be draped or it can be tied and wrapped around. There's so many different things you could do. But yeah, I think these will look cute, especially if I could get that gold around them. I think it'll look good. I think I'm ready now. So when I was looking for some stuff to add to her, and when I was driving home, I really started thinking about these, and I really wish I didn't put them on there. I could easily paint over them, but I did it, so I'm just going to go with it. I did mention that, okay, well, I was going to do the outline because I wanted it to match the material, but I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do a little bit of glue in there and sprinkle some gold because I decided to go with a gold and black theme for her face. So Um, I'm going to try not to talk that much because usually I talk a lot during the lives. And I'm actually going to keep her eyes like a brownish color. I don't want to throw in there blue and green because I don't want to throw off this. Okay. But I will get started by painting her lips. I'm going to be using, this is vintage brass. I prefer, I have Deco Americana 24 karat gold, but I can't find it, so I'm going to use this. And I'm going to start by doing a coat of this. I don't know, I might do a gradient with the black, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I will. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to take one more look because I really want 24 karat gold. It's a much brighter, rich. Oh my God, really? All right, I said I couldn't find it. It was right in the corner of my drawer. I feel stupid. Let me show you the difference. The lids you can't really tell, right? But this is Deco Art. It's not Americana. It's Deco Art Extreme Sheen 24 karat gold. Totally love this color. Let me show you the difference. This is vintage brass, but it looks gold. But this has a more rich gold. And I'll show you the difference. You can see the difference already. See the difference? This is like pure gold, pouring gold, you know, to do jewelry. And this does have a brassier look. Yay! That makes me happy, so I'm going to put that aside. And get me a round brush. You can buy like a mixed. Michael sells paintbrushes. Just, you don't have to get anything expensive. Just a variety pack, you know, and you can get, there's rounds and flats and liner. Okay, so I'm going to do a coat of the gold, which I'll probably need a few coats. I'm not going to worry too much about the outline there to separate the lips. I'll worry about that when I'm done. And if you're just tuning in and you didn't watch the first part of this tutorial, the base coat of this head is honey brown, and that's made by Deco Art Americana. Hi Jenny, thanks for joining. Yeah, Candy, it is a big difference. It's really, when you compare it to the other one, because if I use the other one, you're like, oh yeah, that looks gold, but no, not when you look at this one. I know I'm doing great, Jenny. I hope you're doing good today. So if anybody decides to follow along in part 1 and part 2 of this, I would love to see your finished fortune teller. And you don't have to even follow it completely. Like, you don't have to put those. You can put rhinestones. Here's a good example. You can pick these up at, if you have a Spirit Halloween, you can order them on Amazon. These would look really cool, you know, to put around her face instead of those. There's a lot of different things you could do. Okay, so just getting this first coat. I'm trying to go over that black. I outlined them in black because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So, but if I do a gradient, then the black will be fine. I might do that. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Oh, let's see. They have some at Walmart. Ooh, Walmart has some Shelly says, Walmart probably has a way better price also. I'll have to check our Walmart. But when the Halloween store is here, oh my gosh, I'm there all the time. All the time. I go in there just to look for something that will give me an idea to do ahead. And I usually go to the hats part, or I'll go to the wigs, or I'll go to like face masks and stuff. And I'll find something, and in my mind I'll just decide, oh, I'm going to do this kind of head to go with that, you know. Oh, Jenny's seen him at Walmart too. Wow, I haven't seen him. But then again, when I go to Walmart, I just don't look. I didn't know. So now I'll know. Definitely have to look. Okay. Oh, and look at this. I got these at Spirit Halloween. Look at these crazy lashes. See those? So I'm going to use these. They come with some heavy glue though. That's why I went ahead and took them off, and so I don't struggle with them. Okay, I'm going to get started on the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and put the white of the eyes first while those lips are drying. Do you only do heads? I do heads, and then I'll paint, I'll draw. I do fun stuff. I just actually, I did a live just the other day where I was painting on a canvas, a 12 by 12 canvas. I call it Kitties in the Pumpkin Patch. That sold right away. So I have some, because I stopped taking orders. I have leftover orders that I'm doing for this month because I got to get started on my Christmas heads to do a Christmas auction. But I do have a couple of orders that I'm just waiting for the wigs to come in. So after I do this fortune teller, I'm going to be doing some painting. I went and picked up a couple of bigger canvases, and also for drawing some sketches. So I'll do some lives doing that too. Let's see. They're really long, similar to the white ones. Yes, yes. Really long. Will the glue melt the styrofoam? Yes, but you need to just use just a little bit. You know, don't put tons and tons. You don't want to, for example, are you talking about hot glue? I'm assuming, right? So let's say you're going to put a rhinestone. Well, you're absolutely not going to use hot glue for the rhinestone because it could, you know, eat away and you'll see around it. I only use tacky glue for that. I use hot glue if you're not going to be able to see where I'm gluing, because it will, if you use too much, it will eat up the head. Just melt it. Oh my gosh, did you take those off? Stacy and Darcy? Stacy and Darcy? I don't know who that is, Stacy and Darcy. Are those characters? So I'm not worried about going out of the lines and stuff. I just want to get this base on here. It's the first coat. I can touch up all these other lines afterwards. Just want to get them on here. The twins, they have to. Oh, I've never heard of them. I'll have to look them up. Yes, they are. When I was younger, I would sit and draw different shapes, eyes, nose, and mouths for hours. Yeah, when I was young, Teresa, I've ever since little just loved to draw and paint. My dad, I was very little. He would sit at the table with sketch pad and just draw and draw. And I'd always tell him, I want paper. And so I would draw too, and I just always loved it. Yeah, I will see how it looks on her. If it looks a little too crazy, then I won't use them. Um, I have a huge batch, probably about 100 lashes that are supposed to arrive tomorrow. We'll see, but I haven't gotten any updated on my tracking, so it's like, oh, I'm gonna go buy some, because the ones I have are, I just have very few, none that I would have been happy using. Okay, so now we got the white of the eye done. Couple women on 90 days. Stacy has a few screws. Attempt setting on glue gun is best for using a styrofoam list. Like Heather said, it's in the area. Exactly, Candy. Exactly what Candy said about the hot glue. Hi, Davita. Thanks for popping in. I hope they'll look good. I hope they will look good on her head. We'll see. Okay, so I decided to try using, this is burnt sienna. So I'm going to put my first coat of burnt sienna on her eyes. Those pupils there are just for reference. I might make them bigger, smaller, change them, whatever. I don't know yet. Just the first coat. I didn't even put the pupil, just the pencil. My eyes are not even evened. I just look, always look straight on to make sure that they're, you know, you don't want one eyeball bigger than the other. If you can avoid that, everything you do looks fantastic. Oh, thank you so much, Jenny. That's nice of you to say. Okay, now I'm going to re-outline it because this eyeball was smaller. I should have went a little more dreamier in the size. Made them a little bigger than what I wanted to. Just for reference. So you look at it and see, you know, okay. And always look at the distance between your outline of the iris and the tear duct area, because sometimes if you don't pay attention you might have this huge distance here and a smaller one here. So like this one I wanted a little smaller, but I'm gonna wait till I start doing the eye. Did you know there's a new Halloween coming out with, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That'll be cool. Gotta watch that one. Geez, I don't even know how many of those there are. I'm just kind of shaping it a little bit. I'll do it more when I start painting it. But okay, so let me go around this. What do you coat them with in the end? Well, you can seal your head with, there's a variety of different things you can use. You can use a spray sealant. You can use a brush-on sealant. I prefer, when I first started doing heads, I used Duraclear, which is really good. It's a brush-on. I mean, I use it still now and again. But the amount of heads that I do, I prefer just to spray. It's a lot quicker for me. Plus, I use a lot of makeup, eyeshadow and stuff around the eyes or shadowing. And I do not use brush on when I have eyeshadow, ever. Except when I'm shadowing the eyes inside, I'll tap it. But the brush on sealant, you know, could smear all your work that you've done. So you can use, there's Krylon, there's Mod Podge High Sheen. I prefer gloss. A lot of people like satin matte. I prefer gloss. So I get the, I'll use Mod Podge High Sheen. I'll use Deco Art Triple Thick, spray, all kinds. There's a variety. If you go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, um, and I have, if you know, for if you want really in-depth details on everything I use and how I use it and everything, and the tips for getting smooth heads, I do have a class replay on my website, creepyholidaystuff.com. Um, there's one tutorial on there that says how to get a smooth finish. That one is almost 3 years old, and it was before I learned tips and figured out how to really get that smooth finish. And so there's a lot of process to that one. I recommend the class replay because it has my tips and it shows you everything I do to create styrofoam head art. There's material lists that have all the supplies I use, paint color preferences, skin tone color preferences, paintbrush preferences, and in the end I also include a tutorial for a half Jack and half Sally. So it's a really good, I mean the video quality is not that great because my camera sucked at the time, but it's a really good video and I recommend I really recommend it. You might want to check it out. Oh, you're welcome. My favorite is the first Halloween. Yeah, I think the first of all those shows like that are the best. Okay, so I'm just going to do some simple eyes. I'm going to go in and I'm going to add another coat of my burnt sienna. You can use some blending gel. Okay, if you're worried that, oh gosh, it's drying too fast for me to blend, just stick your brush in some blending gel and do it. Then you don't have to worry about it. But I'm just going to try to work fast. So I got my burnt sienna in there, and then I'm going to go around again with the black. Make sure I have enough to where it's not going to dry, because the acrylic dries super fast. Super fast. Then I'm just going to, oh, I got some black there. I'm just going to pull in some of it. Make longer lines, shorter lines, longer, short. Longer, short, just all the way around. Then I go back in and I'll touch this pupil up. I got a little too much, and just pull just a little bit, just to touch out around it. If you pull too much, don't worry about it. Just go back to your burnt sienna and put it in there. Yikes, I got way too much. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my burnt sienna and just add a little more in here. I'm not going to be trying to do too fancy on the eyes, just simple. Because she's going to have a lot going on. I'm going to wipe off the excess on my rag and then grab some white. And just, if I can get some. Do a few lines in here, all the way around. Wipe off the excess. Hi, Virginia. And I'm just going to go in between the outline of the iris and the pupil. Go around with the white. Get a little more burnt sienna and just kind of go back and forth until you get the color that you like. Then I'm going to get my round brush that I was using, clean it off, and just kind of all blend it in together too much. Add some more white. I don't want too much white. Just want a little. back around my outline. Let me rinse off. Just gonna get a touch more of the sienna and just kind of go right around it, right around that outline. This is driving me nuts right here. Hold on. Okay. So we'll just do, oh, this brush just sucks. Do a few. Putting the highlight as if the light is coming this way. So it's super dark, which I want. Doesn't Jesus have shoulder length hair and beard or not? Doesn't Jesus have shoulder length hair and beard or not? Yes. The picture that I am basing the Jesus that I'll be doing is hair, you know, down to here and beard, mustache. Have to take baby to the groomer. Be right back. Okay, Jenny. Okay. That'll be about a week before I get those wigs. The Santa Claus wig should be here any day. Any day. Did somebody say different, Virginia? Is that why you're asking? Do the same thing I did on that side over here. If the black dries too fast, just add some more. No, just wondered how you would make him. Oh, yeah, I have, let me show you the picture I'm basing it off of, just so you know. It's the one my grandma had, and just that one, you know, the shoulder length. The beard, however, that I'm getting is longer, and I've seen other pictures where he has longer beard, so I don't know if I can trim it well or what. I'll see how, you know, when it comes in. That one has a shorter beard, but I've seen other pictures where it's long, and most of the beards and mustaches are long as well. Whoops. Oh, nice. No, just wondered how I read that one. I love that picture image. Yeah, tried to find one with a beard like that, but I think I'm probably gonna have to trim it. I'm not a beard trimmer, so hopefully it'll come out okay. Hope so. I'm also getting the I know there's probably the proper word for it, the wooden thorn thing that goes around the head. I have that coming too. I don't know if you want. I do have another person that wants the Jesus as well. So if you don't want the thorn thing on the head, just let me know. You are a hairdresser too? No, I am not a hairdresser at all. That's why I said I don't know if I can cut his hair, trim his beard. If I have to, I'll go to a salon and I'll put that beard on the styrofoam head and I'll tell, or actually a barber shop, and I'll tell him, can you please trim it, and show him the picture of Jesus. Can you please trim this beard to match? I bet you they would do it for me. I just looked at mostly all of the pictures. I saw Jesus has shorter beard. Yeah, see, I saw a lot that had the longer one, and the wigs. A lot of the wig and beard and stuff are all long, but I like the short one. But I mean, isn't his beard though supposed to be long? You know, not cut his beard at all. He didn't trim his beard or something. I don't know. Send it to me. I'm a hairdresser. Oh my gosh, Linda, that would be awesome. Any chance you live in California? Trim the beard for me. That would be super cool. Oh, I really screwed up on that pupil. Let me just fix it. Good enough. Okay, so I'm just kind of soften around. These are like really simple eyes. Nothing fancy, or just like I said, she's gonna have a lot going on, so I didn't want the eyes to just pop, especially with the material I'm going to be using. Okay, so now I'm going to take some red. I am sure I called the salon here, and they said they would be happy to braid the hair on the wigs I have. Oh wow, awesome. Oh, you're in Chicago. That's where my husband's from. He's from Chicago. We were supposed to go this year, but with COVID, it was during the Lollapalooza thing that was going on. Didn't want to take a chance with COVID, so maybe next year we'll go. He can go see his dad, and I'm sorry, I put a dab of red and then some white, and I'm just making the tear duct. You don't have to be perfect here, just a little color, just a little pinkish, and you can actually pull some of that color to go like the water line right there. Add a little bit here, but if you have too much, just add some more white. Which I'm going to do. I don't want it this red. I would super appreciate it if you guys would share. And a thumbs up or hearts would be awesome, because it helps the algorithm. Otherwise, Facebook likes to hide my stuff. I don't know why. Okay. So I'm just going to go and kind of, like I showed in part 1, do a little kind of curve there. It just, I have a little too much paint there. But that's okay, because she's going to have, you know, lashes and shadowing. Thank you, Virginia. I appreciate it. Okay, I just need to get some a little bit of white in here. That side looks pretty dry, so give that just a second before I do the shadowing on it. I'm going to come back and do another coat of the 24 karat gold. Thank you, Candy. Thank you. This is really thick paint, kind of like sticky. And again, I may do a gradient here. I'm not really sure. I just want to get the coats on first, and then I'll decide later. Okay, Crown and Jesus. His head is called the Crown of Thorns. That's what it's called. Yes, I have that expected as well. I just thought it would look really, you know, nice on him. Okay, so I'm going to take some of my black eyeshadow, and I'm going to take a eyeshadow brush that is very short but firm, not floppy, just nice and firm. Thank you, Debbie. I'm going to dip it in my black eyeshadow. I don't have very much room here. This is crazy. Okay, then dab it on my towel. And I'm going to come right up against the outline. Carefully, very carefully. You don't want to overdo it. You just want to cause a nice shadow in the eye. Do the same thing on the other side. Gives the eye depth. The difference in there. Very nice. Okay, we're going to do the other side. You don't want too much eyeshadow, because then you're just gonna, it won't even look shadowed. It'll just look like a black line there. And if you get, oh, see, I made a mistake. Don't put it over wet paint. Had that wet dot there, so that kind of messed it up. Okay, so I'm going to wait, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and do the shadow down here. I still got to add the highlight to the eye. So same eyeshadow, and push. You want to push down, blow off that fallout. Don't let that fallout stay there. Okay, so she has a nice dark shadow. I just pulled it up. Search, it says Walmart has the crown in the costume department. Walmart is a green plastic. Oh, the one I have is, it actually looks like wood. I hope that it comes that way, my way it says, but we'll see. These accessories are going to make him a little more pricier than my regular heads, just like her. You know, my regular heads are actually pretty low priced. They're not super high. But when I start adding accessories, multiple accessories, then, you know, it will increase it a little bit. I just got paint on her. Or shadow. Can't get it off. Just use your face paint to touch it up. And again, this is what her base is. It's honey brown, Deco Art Americana. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in. I'm going to do the little simple highlight. For those of you that don't know, or wait, hold on, let me look at these eyes. I'm sensing that it's a tad bit off. You gotta look at the pupils. Make sure the pupils are looking at you. Okay. Let me get a different brush for my highlight. So look at the whole eyeball here as a circle. Pretend it's a clock. Between, and this is just a very simple highlight that I do, between, right in between the pupil and the iris. If it was a clock between 10 and 11, put a dot. You can do a second dot between 4 and 5 that's smaller, just like that. Okay, so you're doing a dot between 10 and 11, and it's in between the iris and the pupil, okay? For this particular one I'm doing. And a smaller one between 4 and 5. Okay? Alright. So, now I was thinking, let me close this red. Her mouth looks so boring right now. I'm still going to use that. I don't need this. I was thinking about doing glitter on her eyeballs, or her eyelid, gold. So I'm going to go ahead and draw where I'm going to put it. But first I need to do her wing. Gotta have a wing. Didn't do a wing. That came out a little too... Okay, so she'll have a wing there. Let me go ahead and paint that wing on there. So if you're new to my page and you're like, wow, what do you do with those things? Well, I have customers that like to attach them to the center of a wreath. I have customers that like to decorate them with florals. I have done both. If you go to my album and look at Styrofoam head art and just scroll all through them, you'll see different ways that I've used the heads. A lot of them like to display them just as they are. A lot of them like to put them on, which I've done many times, put them on a plaque of wood so they just sit. You can also cut them in half. I've done that a few times. You can hang them on the wall that way. And some are cute. I've made baby Frankenstein to where he's all green. You'll see him in my album too. And I got a green bowl, put candy, and put him in the middle. And he makes an awesome Halloween party little thing, you know, for candy and stuff for a party. It's just super cute. There's so many different ideas. Alright, so I'm just going to... I have to watch out too because those lashes are super big and long. I want to make sure that... the gold shows. And I mentioned this too on part 1, whenever you're trying to draw to do even, especially if your head's wet, it's hard to turn the head and go this way. I always go put my arm around, not always, but a lot of times to try to get it even, and then I'll finish off going the other way. just so I stay as close to symmetrical as possible. Okay, so that's where the glitter will go. It's going to go right up to there. And I'll use my base paint to fix that to go like this. See how it's too thick there? I'm not worried about it right now. Okay, so we're going to use this, which looks like the 24 karat gold. It's extra fine glitter, and the actual color, I don't even know what it is, but it's super gold. We'll be using that. I'm going to go ahead and do something else, because I mentioned I'm going to put a dab of glitter inside of these. But before I do that, just get a damp paper towel or rag. Get rid of any pencil. And hopefully you use the Sketch and Wash pencils that I told you, so it comes off nice and easy. Don't worry if your stars and moons are not perfect. Nothing's perfect. This is like hand done, so it's gonna look beautiful no matter what. Where's the best place to get the eyelashes? I get my eyelashes from Wish. Now these came from Spirit. When I say I get them from Wish, that's like bulk. I get a lot there. Of course, when I go to the Halloween store, I'm going to pick up lashes there, you know. But yeah, definitely bulk I get from Wish. And some of the shipping could be kind of fast, and some could be super, super long. So pay attention to what you're buying, what the shipping time is, and also pay attention because they will totally rob you on shipping charges. You gotta watch. Some of them are sneaky and they charge way too much. So just be careful what you get, what you choose to order. Okay, so I'm going to take some quick dry tacky glue. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not going to use the quick dry. It's white and I don't want it to show because sometimes it doesn't dry clear like it's supposed to. Let me get my regular clear tacky glue. Actually, can you give me a second so I can use the restroom? I will be right back with the tacky glue. clear gel tacky glue. Dollar Tree is a negative on lashes. You know, hey Bobby, my brother's here. I wouldn't say that Dollar Tree's a negative. Now, it's a negative if you're making heads for sale. But if you're making a head for yourself, or you only plan on making, you know, a couple, then absolutely no. That's a good, you know, Dollar Tree's fine. But when you make the quantity of heads that I make, it's not beneficial. The cost just goes up too high to have, because, you know, that many lashes. And sometimes I use 2 sets. You know, sometimes I put top and bottoms. So if you're selling heads in your business, then I would go with Wish. So depending on how my leg feels later, I might go live doing a painting on a canvas or a paper, drawing and sketching. Something. We'll see. I just put just little dabs. I'm not covering the whole thing. I just want little bits of glitter on these little stars and moon. So just a dab of tacky glue, because I want the black to show still. And you can just, you know, dab, 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 dab. And then always get a flat brush and just kind of clean up wherever it is. Oh, I like that. Doesn't that complement her lips? Okay, next. Now, whenever I use glitter as eyeshadow, I always like to paint the same or close to the same color underneath. Just in case it doesn't happen, but I always, worst case scenario, that's how I am. If, you know, glitter comes off, then at least that paint's there and no one's gonna know. But it doesn't come off. Unless you rub it or something. I don't know. When I seal my heads, I seal that glitter too. So, alright, so I'm going to paint the gold on here to be underneath. Whoa. Underneath the glitter. Don't go over that eye line, because you need that eye line for your lashes. Thank you. Thank you. I don't remember if I already said, I think I said it in the beginning, but I'll say it again. Sorry to repeat myself. But if anybody would like to have text messages every time I go live, just go to your cell phone, open up your text messages, and type the word creepy and send that to 74121. It's a code. It's not a phone number, but where you normally put a phone number, you put the code 74121. Type creepy and send, and you'll get notified every time I go live. Now, I will tell you that I live on the West Coast, so I'm Pacific Standard Time. Anytime I go live past 8 p.m. my time, I will not be sending out a text notification And that is because I don't want to upset anybody or wake anybody up that has to go to work in the morning. So, um, I do have options in the program I'm using to set up groups. Later, I'll get more into that. And for anybody that wants to be notified, even though it's late, I could set up a special group for, late notifications. I'm feeling like I'm not super even, but I think it's close enough. Remember, don't worry about being perfect. Nothing's perfect. All right, this eyebrow is really bugging me, so I'm going to use my honey brown really quick and just do a touch up there. I love the text. I am not always on here to catch notice. Yeah, that's what makes the text nice. Oh, California's Davita's West Coast also. Nice. So it's not late for you, see, so that you might be one of the people that would like to be notified. So, I am going to look into that. I'm new to using the text system program that I have, so I'm going to wait a little bit and then I'll get that set up. But from what I understand, if you follow my page, you like and follow my page, when I go live, Facebook will send out a notification already and say, hey, Creepy Holiday Stuff's live. So I think that that works too. This eyebrow is too skinny. I don't remember it being a problem, but I just noticed it. Oh my gosh. Wow, we're getting close to getting ready to put accessories on her. I'm super excited. I like her eyebrows too. Or just sleeps a lot like me. I wish I could sleep. Oh gosh. I didn't get much sleep. I had a nightmare about my oldest daughter last night. Woke up at 1:15 in the morning and it was so vivid that I almost called her. Almost. And I'm like, okay, breathe. Come back to reality. Everything's groovy. It was just a dream. Because at nighttime, everything, I swear, okay, when I go to bed, my mind thinks of every single thing that I should have done or I should have done, or everything seems more important, and just, it's crazy. So also when I have dreams, nightmares or something, it just seems like, oh my God. So I had to bring myself down to reality and calm down and relax, and okay, it's just a dream. And I called her first thing this morning. I got back just in time. She's like, oh, thank you, Jenny. To take the meds I have to take. You would sleep maybe too much. I tell you what, before I do this lips, I got to tell you what happened yesterday. A lot of people know, and I'm very open, I suffer with panic attacks, anxiety. That's just me. I've had it my entire life. And I've gone phases in my life without taking anything. And it's gotten a little out of hand for me, and I just felt that I think it's time to start taking something again. So anyway, the doctor gave me medicine, and I hate adding medicine. I already have to take a lot because of my other issues. So I've been taking just half a pill, and that seems to be fine. It works. So yesterday when I was at Michael's, I'm like, I took half a pill, and I'm like, I'm really feeling anxious. I felt like I was suffocating, which I know I'm not. But when you're wearing the mask and you have anxiety, it's 100 times worse, right? So when I get caught up in my head, I feel like I can't breathe. Then there goes the panic starting. So I had to leave, got in the car, and I took a quarter of the other half. Wow. Strangely, I swear, just that extra quarter, I got home. I sat on the couch just to unwind. I was gone. I was asleep. I woke up and I felt super gross. I felt really gross. It was just it was a groggy, gross feeling, and I had to make myself get up. I'll never do that again. So that's got to be my whole point was, Candy, when I read your comment that if you had to take the meds that you had to take, you would sleep. It just, it's a yucky feeling. I wouldn't want to have to take stuff like that would make me how I felt yesterday. I felt so gross. But I ended up going away, once I moved around and I drank some water and stuff like that. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for popping in. I do what my daughters do. So you know how it is. It's terrible. It's terrible. I've suffered my entire life. It's affected many things in my life. Okay, I'm going to do a gradient. I'm coming in with a heavy black outline. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. But sometimes this doesn't like to work. Immediately coming in. Well, I got too much water. Coming in. Definitely use the blending gel if you need to. Grabbing the gold. Okay, I'm getting more gold on here. Gotta have the gold. And you don't want to diddle daddle like I'm doing. And just kind of like the eyes, we're going to pull in that black, but as I'm pulling it in, I'm mixing it with the gold. Wipe off excess. I hate sleeping during the day. I know, I do too. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, this is going to be a fortune teller, and I, after thinking about it and trying to figure out what I want to do with her colors, I decided to go with black and gold. I thought it would look really pretty. Gotta get this gold in here. Wipe off the excess and start pulling it in. You have to be careful if you start using the blending gel. I mean, it works excellent because, this stuff dries fast. But, it's made for you to keep blending, to be able to blend without your paint drying out. You reach a point where it's like, okay, stop blending. Stop blending. I don't want you to keep blending. So you just got to be careful. I mean, the eyes and lips gold is gorgeous. Is this for an order? Actually, no. She is available for sale. Now, she's going to be a little higher than my regular heads because the accessories I have, you will see I do have I have material to put over her head. I have a forehead piece that's going on her. I do have, I'm possibly going to do like earrings, maybe even a nose thing. Don't know yet, but I do have them. And I ended up grabbing a wig. I was not going to put a wig on her, but when I think fortune teller, I just thought this long dark hair. So I have that as well. So yes, she will be available. The only reason with my orders I like to take breaks and do, some of my ideas. But I'm a little bit lucky right now because I'm waiting for wigs to arrive. So right now I can kind of do my own thing, my own designs, do some drawing, painting on some canvas, do some heads like this while I wait for the supplies to come in. I just finished my my sisters, my second set of sisters. I painted the wrong, I have two, I do the sisters, I created them 2 years ago, and I have two different styles of the makeup. And when I got an order, I made the wrong ones. I made the ones from 2 years ago, and she wanted the ones from last year. So I redid them, and I got them all done. Those are the ones I posted today. And actually, the other set is in my shop, but you know, they're darker green, and they don't stand out to me. So I went and picked them up, some little witch hats. And I'm gonna try to pretty them up a little more, and then I'll update them on my shop. Right now, my shop, they're in there, but I'm gonna try to change them up a little bit. I'm gonna paint on a little Pixie Hair. I love the gradient lips. Really do. So all you do is you just go right around the lips and add the color of your lips and just kind of pull it in. Don't overthink it. If you start getting frustrated, walk away. What will you use for color of head for him? You know, it's an interesting question. My son and my youngest son and daughter asked me the same thing. There's a lot of question as to the color of Jesus, you know, skin tone. I was kind of just going to follow along based on that one portrait. So I might use a warm beige, but it's light. I just thought I'd follow that portrait. So she needs to have lip separation here. This is sometimes what might mess it up, so I gotta be super careful. Super careful. And I need a little darker blend here. But anyway, alright, so I'm gonna take my liner and go to the corner. He had a darker skin, not like this one. He did. That's what my understanding is he did. But I was just going to make him based on the portrait. But yeah, in all honesty, I really don't. I was a little worried. I know that some people can be very sensitive to that and be offended, and I don't want to offend anybody. Oh, well, you didn't do the right skin color, and that's not an accurate description. There's people that would get mad. So that's why I was like, well, I should just follow the portrait. And just tell anybody that doesn't like it, say I just followed the portrait. I just wanted to have lip separation so that it's looks like she has two lips and not just one big one here. So I just don't want it very dark. Is it art so you do what you want? Any more people are offended by anything things you have got? Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody, as people are so sensitive. And my I like to make heads of different colors, and I've had my share of people that have gotten made remarks, you know. But it's just art. And it's all beautiful. It doesn't matter. Okay, I don't want to get too into her lips. I'm happy with it like that. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. She's got, like I said, she's got a lot going on. God will guide your hand due to the color that is right. Absolutely, Jenny. Absolutely. I'm still in love with Mary. I'm sad that she's gone. She sold so fast I didn't get to enjoy her. Because I'll put my heads up and they're in my living room and I like to look at them. And then when it's time to ship them, there they go. And it's like, oh, I miss her. Thank you, Jenny. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glaze those eyeballs because, oh wait, I got to put, hold on. Okay. Let me think for a second. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to glitter her eyes. No, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to gloss them and glaze them first, and then I'm going to glitter them. Then I'll put eyelashes because I don't want to, why did this come up? I don't want to get any glitter in the eyelashes. Yeah, there's some, oh man, there's some people out there that amaze me. It's like, wow, really? Just don't have anything better to do with all, we need more love in the world, not so much hate. I'm just mushy like that. Okay, God, I need to hot glue this. I was telling my daughter, it's so embarrassing. It always comes off, but I just love this brush. Okay, so I'm going to take my tacky glue. Remember, wherever you put this, glitter's going to go, so be careful. Have a flat brush ready to do any fixing. Start in your corner and just go right up against, try to get to the edge so you get all of it. I see there, I don't want. Turn your head around, move it around and get it to where it's comfortable for you. Get right up against that line. Now that's going to give me a problem. That's glue there. To be prepared to clean it off. And then put your glitter. I'm going to try to stay away from that area. Perfect, perfect. Okay, you can tap it with a brush, with your finger, or whatever you want to do, just to get it on there sealed good. Yes, she was. Thank you, Davida. She really was. Okay. Now we use the flat brush just to guide the glitter to where it needs to go. Keep it off the eyeball. Okay. Now we're going to do the other side. I got a little too much. Start right in the corner of the eye. Flip her over. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Also, if you've left a comment and I have not responded, please forgive me. I have a lot of issues with Facebook and a lot of comments do not show up on my thread. When I go back later to check comments once the live is over. I see a lot of comments that just didn't show up during the live, so I'm not being rude, trust me, it's a Facebook thing. So, I mean, this side curves up a little more, but I'm not worried, you know? It's really close. Okay, I don't want to put glitter on her lips because that would be overdoing it, and it would take away from the nice gradient look I have. I am going to do a little white highlight on the bottom lip, just a little one. So you take a liner, skinny round brush, and get your white. Just a little curve right in the middle, just like that. Now, it's like, oh, might take away, but it'll look good. And you can lighten it up too, like that. Not so it's not so dark, but it adds a nice little shine. After she's all sprayed, it'll look more like a highlight. You just don't want it super white. Just light. Okay. Alright. Gotta watch that glitter because I'm gonna go ahead and glaze over the eyes. But you really gotta be careful not to get glitter, so give a nice blow on it. And normally, I'm going to dab around the eyeball. Don't forget there's eyeshadow there, so don't go rubbing. You'll smear the eyeshadow on the white part. Don't put too much, it'll drip and it won't look good. It'll dry and it'll leave a spot into the shadow that we used down below. So do the eyeball itself. Any glitter, get rid of it. Usually dries pretty fast. Just wipe the bottom so it doesn't drip. Then what I do, because it's eyeshadow, I don't want to smear it. I'll just dab, get that first coat on there without smearing. Once the first coat's on there, you could always go over it and just brush it on. Okay, and just make sure it's not too thick. Give her some gloss on her lips. My fingernail poked her. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll be spraying her also. So normally what you want to do if you're going to follow along this tutorial, once all this is dry, you're going to want to take her outside and spray her. Now once you're done spraying her and she's dried, then you can do her eyelashes. If you want to use a brush on sealant, you can brush on all over her. But make sure that you dab over the glitter. Dab it. Don't brush it because you'll pull some of that glitter off. I like to add this to the eyes, mouth, sometimes eyebrows, sometimes eyeshadow, because I'm out of my really high gloss. So I use a regular gloss and it doesn't give me the shine I want on these. So by having this, even I could spray right over it. It doesn't affect it, but I get an extra shine, and that's what I want. And that's it. So now we're gonna do some lashes and then put her stuff on. Where's my honey brown? Today I'm going to be using Deco Art Americana gloss. I'm just gonna fix that there. She had a spot that I did. Okay. All right. So let's put these wicked lashes on. Before I put my glue on, I want to take a look, just in case. And again, these have some really heavy glue, so you got to be careful when you're pulling them out of the package. If you pull too hard, you could actually rip the lash in half. You want to be careful. Usually it's better to start in the corner, but I usually grab the middle, and I've actually torn lashes in half. See, this one wants to twist, which affects the way it lays on the eyeball. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to keep her laid like this. And I need her balanced. Or you can't even see that way. Let me lift up my camera. Just a little. Hopefully you could see a little better. Okay. So I'm just going to use this little liner around. Alright. Oh wait, I don't want that. For lashes, I'm going to use quick dry, because if you don't use the quick dry, you really have to monitor those lashes longer than usual. You can't leave them alone dry. You got to watch them and adjust them, because they will slide, they'll move. So I'm using the quick dry for this. So I'm going to put my quick dry tacky glue. Ew, I got a fuzz. Gross. There we go. This is white, and sometimes, you know, it's supposed to dry clear, but sometimes you can see the white and you have to go over it with some black if it just keeps showing. And I like to put a little bit on the lid to help it attach easier. Something to grab. And then we, wow, they're so big and they're awkward. Try your best not to get it into the glitter. Yikes. Hold on. These are just really awkward. The ends are very heavy because they got a lot of weight on it. Another thing I'll do is I'll take a brush Hi, Mika. Thanks for popping in. How are you doing? Hold on. I just got to make sure that I get a good attachment here. Right underneath my glitter. So I'll just take a clean brush and go right over that. This one don't want to come down. There we, oop. When I bring it down, it pops the other side off. 1 second. Normally you wouldn't have this kind of trouble with the eyelash. It's just the shape of these are just crazy. Sorry, it has to refocus. So I'm just gonna keep my eye on it. Okay. My stars. I always look underneath too to make sure that it's attached. They're super awesome, but wow, they're not easy to apply. Good. How's the weather by you? It's starting to cool off here by Chicago. You know, it's slowly starting to cool off. We had a little bit of a heat wave going on. It was really nice. And it's a beautiful day today, but it's cooling off. Starting to cool off. You know, we get that Indian summer here, so our weather stays nice even into October. And we'll have days that are really hot, and then it'll just be cool. Don't come off. Don't come off. And you really want it to attach good because you don't want it to come off. I mean, you don't want to have to try to take it off and fix it because a lot of times it glues so good, you'll take off some paint. Gotta be careful. Can you imagine what these lashes would look like on a person? That'd be super awesome. Yeah, I've never used any this glamorous. See, this is why you want to make sure you leave that little eye line to put the lashes on. Did you try the E6000? You know, the E6000, it bonds perfect, strong, but oh my god, it takes way too long to dry. I would have to watch the lashes way too much because, like I said, they do move. And you have to monitor them so they don't slide on you. You can't stand your head up because they'll slide, especially heavy ones like this. But I do have the E6000. I actually used it on my I had a little frog that broke, but it just takes too long to dry. Some people say, what about crazy glue? I haven't used crazy glue. I just stick to the tacky glue. I love the tacky glue because I don't have any trouble with it holding. But you just gotta see, this is the natural glue that's on the lash that is actually showing. I don't like that. That means I'm gonna have to go in there and paint it. Once I can get them just right where I want it, then I can let it go and it'll dry super fast. No. It's a piece right here. Hold on. Just attach. I mean, if you have an area that's not attached, it's not like over, like, oh my god, because, you know, the rest will hold. It's just nice to have the entire lash attached. Here, let me move the camera back down while she's drying so that you could, whoa, I don't want to do that. Let's see. I don't remember how I had it here. I think that I was about right there. So just give me a second. I just want to make sure there's a good attachment before I pop her up. And you want to work with it before it totally seals. It's already feeling like it's starting to attach. So while that is drying for a second, hold on, put this lid on. Okay. I don't even know if these will show. I was looking for different things. Obviously she doesn't need regular earrings because she doesn't have ears. So I found these at Michael's, and I don't even know what they are. Bracelets, I guess. And I wanted, because I wanted big. I would have rather gotten really thick so you could see, because I'm not even sure, you know, if I may not use them. I have to put the wig on her to see how much the wig will cover. And then with her little material on top, that's another thing, you know, I don't know what'll show. So I'm going to try these. I also have, thank you, Jenny. Crazy glue will melt the foam. See, I would think so. I would think it's super strong. But people say, yeah, try crazy glue. No. No crazy glue. And then, because I couldn't find something for a nose ring. I don't even know if I'm going to use it, but I got these. I was looking for the cheapest route. Kind of hard because they didn't have what I was looking for. And then I just got some chain. So I cut a piece off of that round thing, and then I attached the chain to it to see about doing this. This is also something I don't know if I'm going to use. It is toxic. I know it melts plastic on glass. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to use on the heads for sure then. I don't recommend it. I only recommend tacky glue for attaching accessories and stuff. Okay. Wow. They're just so curly. Hopefully they don't fall. I don't like. I know that they're probably close to being dry. They dry fast, so while that's happening, let me see. Let me show you. I got this. I thought this would match her really good. I originally, like I said, I wasn't going to put a wig on her, but I got this. I mean, it's super long, but you know, the hair can hang in front to the side. So let me take this sticker off. I'm just buying some time, giving those eyelashes a chance to really firm up there. Taps good. All right, let's see. Let's see. Good enough. All right. I'm going to come down again. Try to help you see her at a better straight on view. Okay. So first things first is going to be the wig. maybe I should zoom out a little bit so that not zooming in. Whoa. That didn't help very much. I won't think she needs a nose ring. You know, see, that's another thing too, because when I made it, I'm like, it might be just too much going on, because she's going to have the head thing on too. So, you know, I could always save that for another head. Like maybe a gypsy or something. Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to get this hair situated. I might have to use some clips because I feel that it's going to be falling in her face. I could tell. I'm just going to open up the back of the hair. Makes it easier. Hopefully this black hair is going to complement her face with the black and the gold. We'll see though. We'll see. If Denise was here, I have to use the word. She's going to look sexy. Sexy. However Denise said it the other day. It was so funny. I love it. Alright, so let me get everything firmly on. Get this out of the way. I don't want to get paint on her. Okay. Oh, look at it. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I need to just zoom out more. I feel like you're too close. There we go. Okay. Sexy. That's what it is. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to do some pinning. Hate trying to deal with a wig without it being pinned. Makes it almost impossible. She would look good if you get, like I have one. It's a, what do you call the balls? You know, where you see the future, those balls. Can't even think of the name. Anyway, I have one for my Halloween display and stuff. If you have one of those, she would look really awesome displayed next to it. Crystal ball. There you go. Man, my mind just went blank. Crystal ball is correct. Okay, so the hair is like too much in the way right now. Hold on. And those eyelashes. So I'm thinking I'm going to move this very front. I'm going to take it, pull it back here, and then I'm going to use a floral pin. One of these. And I'm going to stick it between those two sections and shove it right in the back. I wonder if you could get a larger clear bulb and paint it with an opaque spelling color, opaque color paint. Oh, to make a crystal ball, Candy? Is that what you're saying? Because you know what? Right now at Michael's, they have clear crystal balls that, like, you know those things I made that's, I was going to give away in group for the giveaway. That's the glass container. They're like that, but they're crystal balls. Hi, Tanya. Yeah, crystal balls. Now, if anybody purchased her, just so they know, this one is missing. So I'm going to see. It might be able to be covered with the cloth I'm going to put on it. If not, I might take one off here and hot glue. But I kind of think it'll be okay. So I have to look at her straight on to do this. So pardon me for a moment. Just for a moment. Oh, I gotta think of her name because she's so beautiful. Got to think of her name. You can't see it, so I'm not even gonna fret about it. Also gonna use floral pins here. She needs a name. Ooh, right there, because I don't want it going anywhere. Center. Nice. Okay, so I am feeling that the earrings that I wanted to do is going to work. However, I don't know with the material, it might not. We'll see. Yes, they will. She's looking a little gypsy-ish, but she is my fortune teller. I'm going to put these on now so I can work around it with the... So, my fingernail did put a little dent in her, a very small one. Hold on, I gotta see where I want this. Oh, I think about right there so it can be seen. But underneath the hair, probably actually right over this to help secure the gold thing that's on her. If that lays there. No, it gets in the way. Oh no, there we go. There we go. Shows a little, not as much as I like. Denise, we were just using the word sexy a minute ago. We were talking about you. She just said it. She's sexy. Mystic, Natasha. Can somebody Google really fast fortune teller girl names and see what kind of names come up? I like some of the names you're giving, but I'd like to see what else there is. Okay. Karma. Ooh, that's a good one. Mystique, is that how you pronounce it? Mystique? Crystal Gazer. I'm liking the names. Liking them. All right, time for her. Okay, oh, really quick. I think I agree with Candy, but I want to hear what you guys say. Do you think this is going to be too much? I wish it's really busy in my background, so it's taking away, I think, of... Let me do that. Got too much going on. Do you think that this would be too much? I don't know. I kind of like it. Kind of like it. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think while I do this. Glinda. The only thing is, Glinda makes me think of the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz. It is a pretty name, though. Celeste. I like Celeste. I do like Celeste. Okay, again, I'm not a seamstress, so edges are not, you know, sewn and all that jazz. And it's folded over, so it's thicker, so it's on both sides. Because you could pull this apart and it'll be super thin. I don't want it thin. I want it to show. Thank you, Davina. She's going to get more gorgeous right now. Watch this. Oh my gosh. I get excited when I love a head. Destiny, Luna. So many good names. And this is another one where I think that the material should just like hang on her head, you know. Again, she is for sale. She is going to be a little more than my other heads because of the accessories, including these fancy lashes. You know, she's got a lot going on, but she is available. Give me a second here. I think that I'm going to have to go a minimum of, the lowest I think I'm going to be able to go with her is going to be $68 plus shipping. And I only ship priority, so it'll be $11 shipping. Carrie says yes to nose ring. I know, I'm looking at her look and I think the nose ring would really go with her. It's not, because at first I thought, oh, she has too much going on, but you know what? I think it'll go. So she is available, $68 plus $11 priority shipping. I still got to spray her too. Wow, she's really pretty. I'm just kind of wondering, how do I do this? I don't know. I hate to make a hole in her face. And I don't know if the glue... My goodness, all kinds of pictures. What's your guys' recommending? What do you think? I would have to make a slight hole. I guess I could. Think like the crystal. Best will connect it if you. I think I like crystal best. We'll connect if you do a crystal ball. Yeah, that's true. I'm scared to put a hole in her nose. If I had, you know how my floral pins, if I had a little tiny miniature, oh, wait a second. I know what I could do. I could put the floral wire, the really thin one, and shove it in there, and you would never know. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to go get my floral wire. Crystal. I like that name, Candy. I agree. That's a pretty one. And it kind of goes with her. Let me get some floral wire. I think I can make this work. I just need a second. I need a second to find. I know I have some. This always happens. Where is it, though? Where is it? Sorry, all those texts, but I'm getting a bunch of pictures. My son and his dad have been out river fishing for 3 days in the mountains, and and they're finally coming back home, and they're gonna have reception, and there come all the pictures. And let's see. Let me go look one more place. Okay, got some. Alright, let's see if I can make this work. Isn't it pretty? It's gorgeous. I got this at Joann's. When I was getting material for Mary, I spotted this and I was like, oh my gosh. Just seeing this material is what gave me the idea to do a fortune teller. So, okay, Candy said, I think it was Denise's idea. I don't know. Did I miss something? Look at her eyes. Staring. Thank you. I don't know which one Denise's idea, what she said. I must not have seen it. If you go to Party City, you can get wigs between $10 and $24. And this one is an extremely good quality wig for, I think this one might have been 10. She would look great in a Mardi Gras wreath. Yes, she would. Oh, Crystal. That was Denise's idea, Crystal. Okay. All right. So normally I would use some hot glue, but it's in an area where I don't want to use hot glue. So, and I'm scared to push it in, Candy, because it's kind of big. It would leave an indent. Too much of an indent. So I'm going to cut little pieces of this wire. And I know that this is going to be so freaking hard, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. All right. Got to wear my glasses for this. So I'm going to take this little tiny wire and stick it in the hole. Oh wait, I didn't make it long enough. Fall out. Great, fell on the ground, so I'll probably step on it and find it. So I'll bend it like this. And I'm not worried about it being green. Because I have that gold, I have the gold paint. Now I'm going to cut another one. What if you just glue it and use a tiny bit of shadow? You know, I thought about gluing it, but then I always worry when it comes to shipping, you know, if like when they take it out of the box and they too rough, it just popped right off. That's the only reason why I don't want to use glue. Because the person buying it might mess it up. Might pop it off without realizing. Alright, here it goes. Now, remember, we can usually fix most things. So if it doesn't look good and it has to come out, that's fine. I can actually fix it. Like, I might have to do that because that's driving me nuts. I can probably fix that. So I want to look where it's going to go. So I have to turn her towards me. Right there, right there. It's kind of weird because I don't shadow the nose because I'm not good at it. So before I push it all the way in, I'm going to get the other one started. Ew, this makes me nervous. Now I'm going to slide them over. Use the back of my pencil. Push it in. Oh, no. No, no, no. Wrong place. Wrong place. Needs to go more this way. Needs to be at an angle. Well, it's not going to be perfect because she don't really even have a nose hole, so I'm just going to try my best. Wait, I'm doing something wrong, you guys. I should have did it the other way around. Yes. This way. Thank you, Jamie. I'm going to go back in those holes. I tell you, it is so exciting. For me, it's so exciting to bring an idea to life. I tell you, I truly love it. And she has derived from just this material. That is where it all began. I found the material and then that was it. I had to make her. And this is what I came up with just the material. I'm determined to make this work. You got to be careful because styrofoam is so freaking fragile. So now that we have, and I'm just going to clip a, I only have the big one, so I got to use the big one. Yeah, Denise agrees. It is awesome. It is an awesome feeling. See, I guess I missed some strands of hair when I was clipping her hair back. So, hold on. How far do I want to go? Probably about right there. I'm probably going to put a little bit of tacky glue on it because I feel like it's going to pull out even though it's stuck in there. It doesn't feel secure to me at all. And I'll use the clear one that takes a little longer to dry. I want her earrings to show. No, that's not. Too high. Back here. Oh, I got stuck in. There we go. This. Okay, sorry. So while I'm doing this and this and this. So, you can see the green. I'm going to dab some tacky glue. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, everybody. I'm just going to put a dab in hopes that it holds it. And I could also paint that, the green, I can paint it gold so it doesn't stand out. Because I could see it. I use DAP Rapid Fuse glue. It sets in 30 seconds. That's what I use to glue the gears on my Sleep Girl once. Which you use it to attach your eyelashes. Oh, let me know, Denise, after you do the lashes. It doesn't eat up the paint at all. Or the styrofoam. So it's really hard for you to really get a good look at my heads right here at my desk. So hopefully I can get a picture once everything's dry, and then I'm going to dab it with some gold, and you'll get to really get a look at how she looks. Again, this one is going to be a little more pricey than my regular heads. She's going to be $68 plus $11 priority shipping. If you're interested, just message me. And if nobody does, she'll just go into my shop. And other than that, she's ready. I do have to seal her still. I have to spray. I will. Nope, it doesn't eat the styrofoam. I'll let you know tomorrow. Yes, please do. And in group, Denise, if you could share a picture of it. I've never heard of DAP glue. That would be awesome. There she is, everybody. This was a tutorial of part 2. If you would like to see how I drew her and how it all started, go to part 1. I did that day before yesterday. Also, if you would like to learn how to create styrofoam head art like this, check out my group. I have a pinned post. It's called Creepy Corner. You have immediate access to many, many, many pre-recorded tutorials, live tutorials. It's a great group. It has a great group of women, and we have a dude in there, and they're all awesome. It's fun. We all encourage each other. We all share things that we make and give each other tips and pointers. But you don't have to wait and only get the months that you join. You get all the tutorials, and then also new members get access to my class replay of every single thing you need to know to make styrofoam head art, including material lists with all the supplies I use and etc. If you want to join, I highly recommend you join now. It's $15 a month with the option to cancel anytime, but starting October 15th, it's going to be going up to $20. So if you join before then, you'll lock in that $15, and it'll never go up. So check it out. Again, there's a pinned post with all the information. But please, if you join, please remember to come back after you go to PayPal through the link. Come back and to my page and click on groups and click on Creepy Corner and request to join. If you do have trouble with the link, just let me know. I had a lady recently said that the link didn't work, so I just sent her a different link through a message. So that's it. And also, if you want to be notified by text message, open your phone to messages, type the word creepy, and send it to 74121. And a reminder, I don't send text messages out past 8 p.m. Pacific daylight time, which is West Coast in California, because I don't want to wake anybody up on the East Coast or get anybody mad that has to get up for work. So if I do go live after 8 p.m., it won't be by I won't be by text. But if you do follow me, Facebook will give you a notification. So thank you all for sharing. Thank you for the hearts and the thumbs up. And thank you all for keeping me inspired, and you give me a lot of encouragement. I appreciate all your kind words. Um, and I enjoy sharing, this stuff with you guys. And I just want to say thank you. So if I'm not too tired, like I said, I have some wigs I'm waiting for. So I'm going to do some, painting on canvas or some drawing on paper. I might go live tonight. Just depends. If I'm too tired, I won't. But if I do, I'll see you then. And if you're interested, message me if you would like to have her. All right. Have a great day, the rest of your day. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.